Morning coffee talk. So, today was about fear. Taking the time to realize what I'm afraid of, and addressing that, or maybe not even addressing it, but just sitting with it and realizing what my fears are. So I was thinking about it, and I was I have the typical fears, like dying or my children dying, or I don't know, stuff like that, like fears that everybody seems to have, or just common fears. So, but I was thinking about it, and I was okay, Morgan, what is your real fear? What are you really, truly scared of? What scares you the most? And I realized that I have a fear of being alone. Not alone during the day. That's not always great because then I sit with my thoughts. But no, my fear is being alone in the world. I know that I always have people I can call. I know I have a great support system of friends. But it's not always the easiest to reach out. I tend to isolate because I don't know. I feel like people are busy, or I don't want to be a hindrance. But that's not even it. So I have this fear of being alone, like being single in the world. And I think that it's because I'm afraid that if I don't have someone else telling me or showing me that I'm great, I'm not going to feel that way for myself. And that scares me because I've worked really hard to feel great about myself. And I've worked really hard to like who I am, and I've just worked really hard to really embrace myself. And I think I have this fear that if I'm not with somebody else who shares that opinion of me, that everything that I feel about myself right now is just going to dissipate. And it won't be there anymore. And so I'm fearful of that because I don't want to go back to my old life where I was living in a world of low self-esteem, and I was living in a world where I would just say yes all the time, even if I didn't want to do something. I was living in a world where I cared what everybody else thought, and I would do stuff just because I was so wrapped up in other people's opinions, and it affected, my life as a parent. It affected me. So, I was just sitting there, and I was like, this is a major fear in my life. And I don't want it to hinder the progress that I've made. So I guess realizing that it is a fear that I have can help me get through it. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't really know what the answer is right now, but I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to say, my biggest fear today is being alone, because I don't want to go back to that place where I don't love myself. So that is my fear, and I am working through it.